Hey, what's up, guys? So, I want to make a video about perspective, different perspectives that I've gone through, how they've helped me, how they have hurt me, basically, how they've affected me overall, and how they've shifted my mindset and all the effects of that. So, like usual, I'm going to get right into it. Okay? So, by perspective, what I mean is sort of the way that you look at life, how you care about certain things, the importance you place on certain things, right? So I'm going to start off with a perspective that I started with, and that is sort of that everything is super, super important, and um, I need to do everything perfectly, and I need to be unbelievable and amazing and all these high standard stuff. Now, I'm going to break this down. So, first of all, it's obviously important and good to have high standards and to want to do well, but at the same time, putting additional pressure on yourself because you're caring too much about something, right? Or trying to be a perfectionist, those things can harm you. And I have found that in my own life. And an example is back when I played AAA hockey a few years ago. I want to play again this coming year. But when I was playing AAA hockey, I cared so much that I put additional pressure on myself, and I would get so nervous and anxious before every single time I went on the ice, and it wasn't helping me. I wasn't playing very well, and I was so hyper focused with everything. I thought that if in my spare time, if I wasn't doing something to get me better at hockey, then I was wasting my time, that I was wasting my life. And that is not a healthy way to look at life. You need downtime, you need rest time, right? And so, this hyper focused perspective towards trying to attain something absolutely unreasonable, right? To try to be perfect, it didn't help me. And it didn't help me in hockey itself, like how I played. That stuff too. I'm not going to get into that because not all you people know about hockey. But that's a short little less than 2 minute breakdown of the perspective of caring a lot about everything. And it goes for school too, right? School, just life in general. You get stressed out about stuff, you get anxious, and you can start feeling sick because of that stuff. You can lose sleep over it. Your body can be extra sore and tense up because your brain impacts your body. And so if you're always constantly stressed, then that can show itself in your body, right? So moving on, after that I went to a sports psychologist in the summer, 2 years ago, I think it was. It was before last season of hockey. And we talked about that, about how I cared so much and how I was afraid that I'd be wasting time if I wasn't constantly working to get better in my life. And what she helped me do is prioritize certain things, right? And realize that it's okay to have downtime and to schedule things because I was afraid that I was wasting my time, right? And so she gave me the idea to schedule things every day, schedule what my day is going to look like, and schedule in downtime so that you don't put too much pressure on yourself. Because maybe you have a day off, right, where you don't have anything going on. If you set your standards really high for that day and you don't get it, then you're going to be super disappointed. But if you realize that it's a day off and the main thing is for you to rest, then you set a few things here and there and you try to do those things, and then you can do extra after that. But you don't set the bar super high on those days that are supposed to be rest days. And I used to do that. I used to set things super high for every day, but I didn't have a plan. I just thought in general I need to be constantly doing stuff. And then when I wasn't, I'd be disappointed. So then when I put things in a plan, and I printed out on the computer. I typed out like weekly schedules and the time of day and what I'm going to be doing. I wrote it in every Sunday night. I wrote out my general plan for the week, and then I would add things in. And for a while, it was working really well. And then I started falling off of it. And the weird thing that happened is after doing that, I started to not care. And I started to not prioritize my time and not plan my time. And then I started falling towards the other side of the spectrum. And I think something that had to do with this is I had 2 concussions last year. And in having 2 concussions, there's all these things going on in my life, right? There's hockey, there's school, there's all the private, personal stuff that I'm doing that I like to do, just life, right? And so when I had a concussion, you're restricted from doing all those things, and so you need to realize like I'm still alive, but I can't really live. I can't really do the stuff that I've been doing. What do I do with life? And so then I was up in my head for a while thinking just about everything, right? I'm realizing that like I thought to myself, I was like, well, technically, like I'm still living without going to school because I had a concussion. I couldn't go to school for the first week or 2 or 3 or however long it was. I was like, I'm living without school. I'm living without hockey. Do those things really matter? Because I can live without them right here. I'm doing it right here. And so then that sort of indirectly, sorry, that sort of indirectly caused a downward spiral in my perspective where I started to not care so much about things, and I like, at, after that, when I came back to school, I had to catch up on so much stuff, and I like didn't even care. Like, I just kind of did it, but like I didn't stress over it, didn't worry about it, because I'm like, hey, I was able to live without this stuff, stress free. So like in the end, really the only thing that matters is going to heaven, having a relationship with Jesus and spreading that. In the end, that's really the only thing that matters. And I sort of took that to the extreme where I literally like didn't care about other stuff. Like I cared, but like I wouldn't get nervous for stuff. I used to always get nervous for hockey. Like back when I played AAA, I would get so nervous before every game that like I would feel sick. And I'm not going to give too much details, but it wasn't good. And then last season, I was on like the complete other end of the spectrum where I was not nervous for like any game because I was like, oh, well, in the end, nothing matters except for going to heaven, right? And so technically, even if this goes bad, it doesn't matter. And by the way, this is a very dangerous perspective to have, so I would not recommend having it, right? This is just what I've learned and where I am now. I'm going to get to where I am now. So, yeah, for a while I didn't care that much about a lot of things. Like I said before, I cared, but I would never get anxious or stressed about like anything because I just learned how to let go. And by let go, I mean like completely let go. Like I was completely unfazed by the stresses of life. And it was freeing, but at the same time, it really made me slack off of the things that I knew I should be doing, but then I just let go of those things, and so then I wasn't doing what I knew I should be doing, right? And so now, since I have a low battery, I'm going to move on to the next thing and hopefully get this all done in one take. So, moving on to the next perspective, right? So it starts off where I care about everything a lot. Like I tried so hard in school all my life. I cared so much about everything, about hockey, about winning, losing, all this stuff. And then I felt I was learning that I needed to gain more of a balance, right? So I heard like that I need to get more of a balance. And so instead of getting a balance and getting to the middle, I just went all the way to the other side, right? And now what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to come back towards the middle, and now I'm starting to come a little bit back over to this side, but I'm trying to still keep myself grounded in this side a little bit so that I can pull myself back over. So what I'm going to say with this is after my concussion, that was first semester grade 10. So that was just over a year ago, right? Or around a year ago. Right now I'm in second semester in grade 11, right? So first semester grade 10 I had 2 concussions, and then second semester grade 10 I didn't have that much stuff going on at school. I had English class, art, fitness, and science. So basically, really just science, because I had a good English teacher where it wasn't that much work, really. So basically, just science. And so I was like, you know what? Grade 10, before the home stretch of high school, before grade 11 and 12, I want to see what it's like to be a stereotypical high school student that doesn't really care, right? And I hate to say that. It hurts my heart to say that because I've been like a nerd, hardcore nerd my whole life, complete straight A's. Like I had a 96 average in math in grade 9. But um so yeah, I sort of gained that perspective of like I wasn't doing my homework at lunch or at night. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. Um, just I was on my phone a lot probably, right? I was wasting my time and just focusing on hockey. But what I found is that in not caring about school and in not taking the time to work hard in school, my work ethic in other areas and my discipline in other areas of my life went down. And I thought at first, I was like, oh, well, if I give less attention to school, then I can give more attention to hockey and I'll be better in hockey. Nope, I ended up being worse in hockey because I wasn't consistently holding myself up to a high standard just in life in general. And I want you to remember, if you take one thing from this video, how you do anything is how you do everything. So make sure that even in the small little areas of your life, you're maintaining good habits and being consistent and keeping high standards. Because if you allow the one excuse in your brain for that small task to get to you, and if you allow yourself to not have high standards or to not meet those standards in one small area of your life, then you'll allow it to one other small area and then one other small area. And you think, oh, well, it's only like a few little things. It doesn't matter that much. But then over time, without you realizing, it'll gradually work into other areas of your life until your habits are completely out the window. And this is exactly what happened to me. And my habits for homework and all this stuff, they completely flew out the window. And first semester grade 11, I was doing the same thing that I was doing second semester grade 10, which is barely caring and not doing my work, not showing discipline and all this stuff, right? And I mean, again, I kind of had an easy semester last year. What did I have? Last semester I had religion, English, fitness, and chemistry. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details because I don't have that much time left on here. But yeah, I did not do what I should have done that semester. I made the mistake of not putting the time in that needed to be put it in. Um, and I still finished with okay marks overall, except in chemistry, I completely like bombed. I passed, but I did pretty terrible. I'm not going to say exactly what mark. I know you're probably going to be asking in the comments for me to reply. Maybe if you comment, I'll reply what I got. But yeah, not very good. Not proud of it. And then this semester, like the first day of the semester, I get into all my classes and I just felt a vibe of like everybody's energy. Like you can tell there's certain people's energy that take school seriously. And I felt that vibe in all my classes and I realized I was like, bro, for the past year, second semester grade 10, first semester grade 11, for the past year, I have not been approaching school properly. I've just been taking it so lightly. I've been not caring. I've been on this end of the spectrum, right? The side of not caring enough. And so then, literally starting like 2 weeks ago, I realized this. I'm like, bro, it's time to change. So I've been working to come back and care, but also be able to let go at certain times, at specific points, right? Because I don't want to get hyper stressed and hyper obsessive and perfectionist and all that stuff. And so I'm trying to come back to this end, but with a little bit of resistance from this end so that I don't come too far on this side, right? So I'm trying to find my way back to the middle, right? So I've been trying to keep up with my homework, and even still, those habits from the past year are carrying out. And even in the first 2 weeks of this semester, I haven't been able to maintain what I want. I have in all my classes except for math, which I'm kind of behind on from my 2 concussions last year because I missed a lot. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up with all that stuff. I'm trying to actually put in the time and the effort and care and take things seriously and set high standards for myself and stop wasting so much time on my phone. That's a big thing. And so in the end, this is where I'm at right now. Now, I'm not at the end. This is just what I'm currently learning. But I found that you can't be too far on this side, you can't be too far on this side. And what I found today is the past couple days have been pretty stressful with school and lots of stuff going on, and I've been trying to manage it, and I've been trying to work on this whole thing like, okay, I need to care because I need to get this done, but at the same time, like, I'm not trying to kill myself in doing all this stuff and getting my brain completely overloaded. So I'm trying to be able to focus and work hard, but also like sometimes relax. And sometimes I find myself too focused, right? Where I'm like hyper obsessed, and like earlier today I was super stressed out and really, really frustrated and irritable. Relates to my other video titled Control Yourself. Earlier today I was not controlling myself, right? Eventually I gained control after eating food, but at first I wasn't. And then there's been other times where I feel like I don't care as much, where like it's at lunch and I know that I'm supposed to be doing my homework, but then I allow a conversation with somebody to drag out way longer than it should. And I just talk to my friends about stuff, and then I don't get my homework done. And then I become hyper obsessed with my homework and trying to catch up. But then I fall back off again. And it's just this big back and forth. So I'm trying to find my way into the middle. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I'm trying to work on it. And so that's where I am right now. That's where I'm at right now. So what I'm doing is I'm recording this video right now, and I'm way behind in math, actually. I need to catch up a lot. The good news is the test isn't until next Thursday. Today is Thursday. Yeah, so it's a week from now. So I have a week to fully catch up, and there's a quiz Tuesday. But anyway, you don't care about my school stuff. So that's sort of a breakdown of different perspectives that I've gone through. Caring too much, not caring enough, trying to find a balance in the middle, and the positives and negatives in all of that. So the positives and negatives of being hyper focused, right? If you are hyper focused on certain things, it can be helpful to achieve things, but at the same time, it can harm your health mentally, physically, all this stuff, right? Because you're super hyper stressed about things, and that can have impacts on your body and your mental state. And overall, it's just not healthy long term, right? Over time, it's going to harm you. And then the other side of not caring, you might feel like you're at peace, like you're meditating constantly, but you're not getting anything done, and you're just making excuses and not actually addressing the responsibilities of life. And I know, because that's exactly what I was doing. And then you find your way in the middle, where you're able to get the things of life done and attack the responsibilities of life, right? But at the same time, you're able to let go and relax and calm down and, rest when you need to rest. And so by no means have I reached a place where I want to be, or a place that's great to be at, but I'm trying to learn, and this is just my experience. Take what you can from it, but I do recommend and suggest that for you not to be too far on either side of the spectrum, because both sides have their positives, both sides have their negatives. And so what you can try to do is you can try to take the positives from one side and the positives from the other side and try to merge them together as best you can. It's not going to be perfect by any means, and it also depends what type of person you are right now. Maybe you're an overachiever, maybe you just aren't motivated, which, by the way, motivation is BS. It's all about discipline. It's about, self-discipline, self-control, and willpower to do stuff that you don't want to do. So I don't know. Anyway, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I forget what I was even saying. So at this point, it's been been a long video. So I'm gonna wrap it up before it reaches 20 minutes. Hope you took some stuff from this video. Hope you learned, and yeah, have a great day. Stay tuned for more videos. When I get an idea, I'm just going to make a video and post about it. Hopefully I'll be able to keep doing that. Let's hope I keep my word, right?